What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Now, as we finish our 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Series, I have one of the most exciting, electric tight ends in this year's 2023 NFL Draft. This guy was at the Senior Bowl. He's at the NFL Combine, and a lot of teams are watching this guy, man. And when you watch his tape, man, the guy can block. He can block. He can catch. He can get separation between the receivers. I even saw him do a trick play where he even threw a touchdown, man. He's kind of a big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome none other than Brayden Willis, tight end, University of Oklahoma. Brayden, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored, man. Happy to have you on the show today, man.
100% same here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
You came ready to go, man. Like you were talking before, man. You got the mic and everything, man.
Yes, sir. For everybody that doesn't know, I have my own podcast, so I'm ready. I'm prepared. So.
Oh yeah. And for those who don't know, it's called Podcast on the Prairie. He has a huge following. I'm going to plug all that stuff down below in the description, so y'all make sure you go check out Podcast on the Prairie.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. In the meantime, man, take us from the beginning. You're a very decorated college football player, man. I love your story, man. But for those who don't know, tell us, man, when did you first fall in love with the game of football?
Yeah, I fell in love with the game of football from a very young age. I played all sports growing up. So, I mean, it wasn't the only sport, but I fell in love with football around 4 or 5. I started playing then, played from a really young age. I've been playing ball for a long time. And I used to always get into arguments with my dad. He used to always say that I was going to be a basketball player. And I always told him, I was like, no, Dad, I'm going to be a football player. And he was like, you'll see. Like, I was the same way until, I got older and I started taking some hits, and then guys started lifting and guys started getting bigger. And I was like, I really don't think so, but whatever you say. And I was right, but no, I fell in love with it from a young age. Like I said, played all sports, but I guess the thing that stood out for me in football was the adrenaline that you get from the violent nature of the game. I think I'm a violent, physical type of guy, and being able to do that on the football field, being able to put someone on their back or score a touchdown, it's unlike any other adrenaline rush that I've ever had. And some people get that adrenaline rush from dunking a basketball or hitting a home run. For me, it just happens to be blocking and scoring touchdowns. So that's kind of how football came to me and how I got into this thing.
That's amazing, man. Tell us, what was your aha moment where you realized, like, man, I'm not just a guy who's like, hey, I play for the Oklahoma Sooners. When was your aha moment when you realized, like, no, I'm elite, or as they say these days, I'm him? What was your moment where you realized that, man, you're ready for the NFL and you can really do this?
Well, it's gonna sound weird. I pride myself on being a humble guy. But I do think I remember vividly telling my mom when I got into college, like when I first stepped on campus at Oklahoma and going into fall camp and going against guys like 3-4 years older than me, like in one-on-ones, and immediately winning and immediately being able to contribute to the team and getting on the field. I told my mom, I was like, well, I went into college and I thought, guys were going to be 10 foot tall and, bulletproof and running 4 threes and, everything like that. But really these guys are just, just like me, they're regular, they're just people. So from that point on, I knew that I had a shot, to go into the NFL, and it was all about just, staying the course, being prayed up. I'm a big believer in God. I hold my faith dear to me, and just staying the course. And there was going to be adversity to come. I went through some adversity in college, and but I just stayed the course, prayed, and kept on working hard, and it ended up working out for me. So.
Absolutely, man. And we can definitely see that. You led the Oklahoma Sooners in most touchdowns for receiving, man. So that is amazing. That being said, man, you mentioned you're a violent player. It's the tape tells no lies, my friend. So I co-sign that.
Yes, sir.
Hundreds of thousands of people have seen you play, man. Who are some NFL players, tight ends, what have you, that perhaps maybe you model your game after?
Oh, 100%. I love this question. But, I think in today's day and age, I think that if you're not a Kelsey guy, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, Kelsey, he's the bar. Everybody looks up to him. And I think it's hard to mention any type of tight end without mentioning him. So I'm gonna say Kelsey's up there. I love Kittle, man, what he's able to do in the run game and in the passing game. So I take little bits and pieces from different guys, and that's definitely a guy that I have watched, I've studied, and I've took some pieces for him. And then Mark Andrews went to Oklahoma. So, being a year removed from him, I came a year after he left. We still had all the film from his tenure there, like all the practice film, all the game film. So I used to study him vividly. So it was just good being able to be behind someone like that. And also, I played with a guy named Grant Calcaterra with the Eagles. Really good player, man. And shout out to him. He taught me so much when I was a freshman. So, those are some of the guys I look up to in the game, and I take bits and pieces from, and that have helped me come kind of the player that I am today.
That's amazing, man. And with all your success, what are some things that keep you hungry in life and to continue to dominate at this sport we call football?
Yeah, I just my mother is a big motivator for me. She's a big inspiration for me. She worked hard, as I was growing up to provide the life that she wanted me to have, and being able to have some of the opportunities I've had today, and so she never quit. So I never allowed myself to quit, no matter what she was going through. So my mom is a big inspirator for me, and just like my love of the game, I love the game. I want to provide for my family now and my future family. And yeah, just like I said, love of the game, just love it, and live, breathe, live football. And yeah.
That's awesome, man. Hey, you know what they say, man. If you love what you do, you never work another day in your life, man. And it just makes, not that there isn't work that don't go into football, but man, it just makes it that much more easier, man, to set goals for yourself and just be as great as possible,
100%.
Absolutely, man. What's in the headphones on game day, man?
Man. So I have a technique that I've been using the last couple of years. In the morning, if it's a morning game, it's an early game, I listen to one gospel song. So I get up, I listen to a gospel song, praise the Lord real quick, get my mind right. And then after that, I'll listen to my pregame rap sheet. And usually it's something along the lines of Young Boy or ESTG. I got to get the juices flowing. I got to get the aggression going. So, one of those two guys. If it's a evening game or afternoon game, typically, during the day, we'll get up in the morning, we'll have some meetings, whatever. Then we'll have a break in midday, and then we'll come back and we'll start getting warmed up and everything. The beginning part of the day, I'll listen to straight gospel all the way up until that break. Take like a small nap, because I don't like to nap too long, because I feel like it drags me a little bit. And then I'll wake up and I'll get into the same thing, the same type of guys. So those are two. I listen to other guys, but I would say those are the two most heavily listened to guys on game day. So
that's cool. You got a routine. That was gonna be my next question. You got a routine already mapped out.
Oh yeah, I'm very. I don't know if I would say superstitious, but I kind of am. But I'm kind of not. But I do have a routine. I stick to it every week. It doesn't change, even from leading up into the week. Like I'm very set into my pattern. So
yeah. Very cool, very cool. And you said it's one gospel song. What song is that?
Well, I really will switch it up. Most times it's something by Marvin Sapp. Never would have made it without you. That
I know that one.
Yeah, so but usually I switch it up. Usually something by Marvin Sapp to begin the day. He's one of my favorites. So yeah. I'll probably go with that one.
Yeah, Marvin's a good dude. He just did an interview, I think a month ago, with DJ Vlad, man. Amazing testimony, man. Very awesome
100%.
guy. Definitely, man. Let me ask you, man, you were in the NFL Combine, man. You were at the Senior Bowl, and rumor has it, man, you did pretty good, man. How do you feel you did?
Yeah, I'm not disappointed in what I did. Obviously I am what I am. I wanted to do a little bit better on my jumps, but that's no here nor there. Like I said, I feel like I provide a lot to a team, and I bring a lot of value. So, a team that likes me, they're going to just, like, if you like me, I am what I am. And so I think I did well. I really loved the way I performed, and I thought I was smooth and fluid, especially in the field drills and catching the ball. I didn't drop one ball, and I don't drop too many balls. So, but I felt like it went great, and it was a great opportunity. It's been something, those two things, especially the combine, something I've been looking forward to, for all my life. I've grown up watching the combine. I've watched it every year. And, in college, I was like, I'm gonna be there, probably in a year, probably 2 years, whatever, wherever I was. So it was a great, opportunity, and I just had fun out there. So it was pretty cool.
That's dope, man. And I can imagine the energy in the room too, man. Like you're around a whole bunch of people. They all got the same dream as you, man. Different positions, of course, man. But I can only
100%.
imagine with some to be a fly on the wall and to feel the energy must have been insane.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like I said, being around some of those, I was around all these great players, great athletes, and even in my position room, just being able to see guys from all over the country, and just being able to share experiences and advice and little tidbits like that is super cool. And some of the friendships that you make during this process, you'll never lose those. So it's like I said, it's a blessing.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And just a few more questions here, man. NFL teams, they do an abundance of research, man, whether it's watching social media, whether it's talking to old coaches, man. What kind of person is this guy who I'm going to be bringing part of not only my franchise, but my organization?
Right.
What's something you want NFL teams to know about you that perhaps they may not know already?
I'm loyal to a fault, man. If I feel like you care about me and you're loyal to me, I'll go to the ends of the earth, for you. And I kind of think that showed in my decision to come back to Oklahoma. Everybody asked me if I ever thought about transferring, because there was a time where, you know, people felt like I didn't get the opportunities that I did my senior year that I should have gotten years previous. So I always get asked, like, did I ever think about transferring? And I never did. My fourth year, I was either gonna go to the draft, or I was gonna come back. It was one or the other. But
Yeah.
man, I'm loyal to a T, and I do anything for my organization and for the ones that love me. I got a lot of love for them. So I think that would be the biggest thing.
Awesome, man. Then one of my last questions here, man. What are some of your goals? You get drafted, you get selected to a team, hop on a flight, maybe drive, who knows?
Right.
What are some of your goals year one and really throughout your career?
Yeah, I mean, year one, I want to get drafted first and foremost. That would be a dream come true, a blessing. Then I want to be able to go up there, go into training camp, make the 53-man roster, be able to work myself up to a starter, starting, potential, if not starting potential. I know how the game is, and I'm not
Yeah,
oblivious to that. So if I get drafted to somewhere that has a star tight end, I'm like, if I was to go to the Niners and sit behind Kittle or something,
yeah,
I'm cool with that. And, that's just an opportunity to learn and become a better player myself. So go in there and just, provide value in some way. So if that's special teams, or getting on the field as, tight end two in the 12 personnel, or coming in when someone's hurt, because it's football at the end of the day, and, not everyone's going to be healthy all the time. So whatever value I could provide to the organization, even if that's just being, a great guy and a dependable body out there, I want to do that. And then after that, I have views of being, I just want to be one of the greatest that have played. I want to be one of the greatest that have played tight end. I want to kind of be, I think what I do has already been done, but I also want to be a guy that makes it more popular, like a guy that's not just, back in days you had tight ends that were just blockers. And so then you started having guys that were more receivers, and they innovated the game. Nowadays you're coming out, there's a lot of guys that are just mostly pass catchers,
mhm,
and the blockers have kind of faded away a little bit. So I just want to be one of those guys that make it popular to be able to do both, and then do both at a very high level. I've heard a lot of things where I've talked to some teams and like, oh, you won't have to do, that much blocking. We just kind of shield people off. And I hate hearing that, because I'm not a shield people off type of guy. Like,
because
if I'm going to go block, I'm going to go block. So
yeah,
just want to be able to provide that to organization. And like I said, I want to be an all pro. I want to be, I want to go to Pro Bowl, and I want to be one that be considered one of the greatest that have played, and, an innovator. So
yeah. I love it, man. I love it, man. And I love your attitude towards blocking, man. Doing the dirty work, man. You may not be catching a touchdown, man, but you're laying the smack down on somebody, man. So
100%.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, there's a few, not saying no names, there's a few tight ends I can think of right now where they're like, and then they amazing route runners, but it's, for you, you're, in my opinion, man, like at least top 2, top 3, like most well-rounded tight end in this draft, man. You have to be in the conversation, man, because like I'm gonna promote the heck out of this episode so we'll see it, man. Because as the young kids say these days, you're him. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
You're that guy, man. So that being said, don't hate me for this question. I hope I don't get you in trouble. Who got better barbecue? Texas or Oklahoma? You're from Texas, went to school in Oklahoma. We'll finish out the episode on that.
Oh man, I will say,
don't get mad at him. Get mad at me. I asked the question.
I love my Oklahomans, man, and I had a great time up there. I'm gonna go Texas though. I've had better barbecue experiences in Texas than I have in Oklahoma. That's not saying that Oklahoma doesn't have any good barbecue, because they do. And maybe there's some places out there that I've missed that probably could have changed my mind. But right now I'm going to have to go Texas. If anybody has some suggestions, I'd love to hear them. And I'm open-minded, but I'm going to go Texas right now.
Okay. Hey, folks, comment down below in the comment section. Let us know what your favorite barbecue is over in Oklahoma. I had a feeling you were going to say Texas. I used to live in San Antonio. Changed my life. It was quite a spiritual experience eating Texas barbecue, man. So I'll take it all day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Definitely, man. Well, Brayden, thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. You're a busy guy, man. You have a lot going on, man. So for you to take time with the folks of Touchdown Nation, man, we really appreciate you, man. Before you go, any shout outs?
First and foremost, to my Lord and Savior, God, you got to give a shout out to God just by putting me in this position. Secondly, my mother. I love my mom. She listens and, watches, reads, reviews, everything I'm in. So she'll be seeing this. So shout out to my mom and my family, because they do as well. And then shout out to Sooner Nation, because I know they're going to be tuning into this. And, man, that's the greatest fan base in the world. So Boomer Sooner to them. Love y'all. And that's about it.
Awesome, man. Folks, there you have it. Go down below in the description of this video. I'm going to have the name for his podcast. That'll be the first thing. And then right underneath that, I'm going to have his Instagram, his Twitter, all his social media stuff down below. Give him a follow. Get inspired. This guy is, he's awesome. This is one of the favorite interviews I've ever done, man. So, and Brayden, thank you so much. You guys comment below. Let me know how this interview made you feel as well, too. We'll catch y'all next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.
Turn 100 for the touchdown, king crown, gain inside, leading your town, hit you faster than the sound, bad boy throw it down, yeah I'm ill, not my will, don't copper fill the house, listen to the roaring crowd, drop a like, calm it down, Heisman all the haters mouth, superhero hit them wow, packing more action than bing boom bam pow, touchdown for the win, we live, subscribe right now.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.